Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Great Reviews. My name's Chris, and today I'm talking about this new Shudder original called The Seed. And The Seed is directed by Sam Whitewalker. Whitewalker? Why did I call him Whitewalker? I've been watching too much fucking Game of Thrones. Sam Walker. And it's about these young girls, maybe like mid-20s, who go to the Mojave desert for a weekend getaway. And then perchance, it is the start of an alien invasion. And a bunch of hijinks ensue, as they usually do in a horror movie. So, I don't know. Not the biggest fan of this, but let's start with some positives. Movie is really competently shot and made. There is some decent production values, some fun practical effects, and some fun body horror by the end. Looks all right. It sounds all right. I'm not a big fan of the musical score. It's not like incredibly creatively shot or anything, but it's professionally made. And it's a very small scale movie, and it has very ambitious places it goes by the end, which is interesting. Has kind of an homage to a really cool horror movie that I like called Society, which is a little bit of a pretty weird movie. And I'll get into some slight spoilers. Probably not even slight. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to get into some spoilers by the end of this. So I'm going to unpack some thoughts here. So if you're really looking forward to checking this one out, maybe come back after you've seen it. So there's 3 women in this movie, and they're very much archetypes of I'm the vain social media influencer, and we have the social media influencer scenes where we're doing the TikTok videos and the I hate that. Like, it's not I get it because it's a common day thing now in our society, but it's just gross to watch. And that's kind of the point. Yes, that stuff is gross because there's some, I think, thematic things they're trying to explore with vanity and empathy. And I'm not quite sure what the message they're getting at by the end of this movie is, but they very clearly are showcasing this woman's beauty on the outside versus the kind of person she is on the inside. But you have all those moments, and it's like kind of you groan, you moan. You don't moan. I mean, I guess you could moan, but you're like groaning over these like, oh, it's me. I'm gonna take pictures of myself. I'm so hot kind of stuff. It's just a lot. It's like a trend that a lot of movies are doing nowadays, and it's not an enjoyable one for me. I just don't like that kind of stuff. It's just kind of gross and annoying. And again, I think that's kind of the idea though, but the characters aren't fleshed out enough to be that interesting. So you have the vain one who's the social media influencer. You have the other like spoiled rich girl who's worried about like them damaging her dad's place and all like throwing around her money and stuff. And then you have the nice nerdy girl who's supposed to be like, I guess who the audience kind of roots for. But like, I don't know. People are much more than one dimension, and I wouldn't normally care if it was just like a thoughtless slasher movie where it's about the body count and the kills. This movie isn't about that. It's mostly a comedy, a dark comedy for the first hour. There's like no horror elements for like the first hour of the movie. And so when the characters aren't that deep and the themes are confusing and the story's not going many places, it's kind of boring. It's kind of uninteresting. Wasn't me. Now, if all the humor worked for me, I'd be more on board. The humor didn't really work for me. It's not funny per se. It's just like a dark humor, but there was no laugh out loud moments. And then by the end, the movie completely loses any sense of humor. So it's weird because for the first hour, it's this dark comedy, and for the last half an hour, it's just all horror, and it doesn't feel like there's cohesion there. It just feels like we shifted gears and are a different movie now. And I like the latter half, or latter quarter better, but it's very much the shunting from Society, that visual, done better in Society than in this, where it's just like the melding of bodies in a weird, horrific alien style way where there's just women's like arms and legs and stuff sticking out of this globulous alien. I'm not sure if globulous is a word, but it sounds like it fits there, so I'm going to go with it. And the whole first hour of this movie is about these women kind of arguing over what to do with this little creature they find that has come from space. And it's a little cute, like little practical creature thing, but it needed to have more stuff happening for me to show interest. And there's weird scenes in this movie with our main character, who's supposed to be the nice one, who's like a little nerdy. She's not so vain. She uses old phones and stuff like that. They point out all this stuff of how she's not into the TikToks and the new technology. And in order for them to get something done, she is kind of coerced into kissing a 15-year-old boy in a scene that plays out like she is enamored and enjoying the kiss quite a bit. And I'm not sure if it's meant to be like, oh, the alien is influencing it or not, or she's just enjoying kissing a 15-year-old boy. But I'm just thinking, like, if the roles were reversed and we were watching a movie with 3 men kissing a 15-year-old girl, would it be funny? No, it would be gross. And so it's just kind of gross here, but it's played up for humor by the other characters. And I'm not saying that stuff hasn't been done in other movies where, like, men are hitting on young girls. It's just, it's gross, and, like, I don't know. Like, it's just gross. I don't know what to say. Like, why is this in the movie? There's lots of, like, lingering, exploitative, like, shots of some of the women's bodies and stuff. And I don't know if that's there to reinforce some of these ideas they're trying to explore with, like, vanity and stuff. I'm not sure. Being a heterosexual male, I was like, okay, yeah, I can watch this. But if I was directing this, I don't quite understand what it adds to the story being told. For me, as a viewer, it kind of distracted because, like I've been saying throughout, like, I'm not sure that the themes we're getting at. It could just all be over my head and I'm missing it. It's 100% a possibility, but this is my take. I didn't get it. I think there is positives to some of the execution on the effects, and the body horror elements do look cool, but from the core storyline here was kind of uninteresting, and where it goes is kind of nonsensical. I like the final shot we get with, having very huge effects on the world, being told from a very small scale story. I always like when movies are able to do that, where the ramifications are much bigger than the story we've been seeing so far. And so the last shot is really cool. But the rest, not so much. The acting's pretty good for what they have to work with, I think. It's just there's not much here to work with. So wasn't the biggest fan of this one. I would give it a 5 out of 10. It's if you have Shudder and you like body horror movies, or you're really into the shunting from Society, just go watch Society again, honestly. But that's gonna do it for, I didn't need to look up the movie name, I knew it, The Seed. If you've seen it, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye.